that information, which you probably already knew, we're going to quickly go to the quick fire picks. That's right. We're going to pick these games super quick. Boom. Here we are. NFL Pick'em side. You know it. All right, so the first game, we have the Falcons and the Panthers. I am taking the Falcons to win the game. Not much to talk about here. Not much to talk about. These guys probably have too many wins for the number one pick, and that is correct. So they're going to get a pretty good spot, but, you know, it's still a nice game. Bryce Young's not just going to roll over and die. He's probably going to put up quite a fight, but I still think Falcons take it. Next game in the slate. Actually, let's just go straight down to the Saints and Buccaneers. I'm taking the Buccaneers to win the game. You know, Mike Evans is he is trying to get, I think it's his 12th or 11th straight 1,000 yard receiving season, which will put him in the record books indefinitely. So they're going to be trying to get him the ball. I think he needs 85 yards. Every game that he's gotten at least 85 yards this season, they have won. So this New Orleans Saints team will be galvanized by the attack. I believe it was New Year's Day. It's really sad to hear. T's and P's. But I just don't think it's enough for them to hold out and win this game against the Bucks. And again, 14-point favorites. I think that's just too much to take, but Packers did shut them out, so don't know what to think here. I do not know what to think. Taking the Tampa Bay. Next up, we have Washington Commanders versus the Cowboys. I think Commanders win this game. I have taken the I think I've taken the Cowboys on the handicap though. So Cooper Rush has impressed me the last few weeks, and I think he's going to be trying to put on a clinic. I think he's going to be trying to say, hey, look, somebody, I can play. Just give me a chance to be the starter somewhere. I'm not going to be expensive. Just give me a 1-year contract and a goddamn chance to show that I can play football. So he's going to be firing. I think the team is going to be also firing behind Mike McCarthy to get something done for that man. I do believe they love him. But I'm still going with the Washington Commanders here to win the game. Probably a bad pick, honestly, now that I'm talking up the Cowboys. Next game, we have Packers versus the Bears. I'm going with the Packers. They really need to get a confidence win into the playoffs. They did lose last week to Minnesota, I believe. So, yeah, getting a confidence win against the Bears will be really nice going into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to rest their starters because they can still keep themselves in the number 6 seed rather than dipping into the 7 seed. So there is a little bit of implications there. Nothing really important though. Massive rivalry. Again though, if you're watching games at this time, I'd watch the Falcons and the Tampa games. Next up, we got Jags Colts. Not even going to think about it. Going with Mac Jones against this dumpster fire of a... I know Flacco's playing, but still, I'm going with the Jags. This Colts team. That's a shit show, that game. Alright, next game, we've got the Bills versus the Patriots. We do have Michael Trubisky going up against Drake May. The Patriots will be trying. I don't know what the fuck they're going to be doing, actually, because they currently have the number one pick in the draft. I'm going to go with the Bills. Not even going to think about it. Good teams can plug and play quarterbacks, and the Bills are a fucking great team. Alright, next up, we got the Giants versus the Eagles. Don't know who is starting for the Eagles, quarterback-wise. Drew Lock. Drew Lock, you got my money. You've got my money, boy. Balled out against the Colts. I know the Colts are the Colts. But you put up half those points. The defense holds this team. Let's go Giants. Just trying to fuck up their picks, really. I don't know what they're doing over there. They're still trying. All right, next up, we have the Texans versus the Titans. I do believe the Texans will want to be playing some fucking football this week because I think they're on like a 4-game drought. Like they haven't been doing too great, I don't believe. So they want to get a confidence win just like the Packers moving into the playoffs. Will Levis, this could be his last game as an NFL starting quarterback. So hopefully he makes the best of it. Next up, we have, and I know these are divisional games, guys. I know these are divisional games, and they do seem very important, but they're not important. They're not important. Actually, every single one of these is a divisional game. Jesus Christ. They really, really set up week 18 to be a good week of watching football. If it meant more. But yeah, a lot of this shit was locked in like last week, so none of this truly matters. San Fran versus the Cardinals. Brock Purdy is out. I don't know who the backup is, so I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I think off the top of my head, Nick Mullins, maybe? Yeah, let's go Cards. Let's go Cards over here. Broncos trying to win to get in. Like I said, Carson Wentz playing for the Chiefs. Let's just go with the Broncos here and keep this thing moving. Rams versus Seahawks. Jimmy Garoppolo is starting. I don't know if the wide receivers and all of that are starting. This is probably a bad pick. It is a divisional game. Probably going to be the under, especially with some low-firing offenses. But yeah. I'd imagine they probably still want to get Puka Nacua some reps in. They probably want to get some tight end play in as well. Moving into the playoffs, it's Sean McVay. Every rep is a good rep, but you don't need to put Stafford at risk, honestly. The man has had quite a few back injuries. You don't need him fucking taking one in a divisional game. That means absolutely nada. So, I'm going with the Rams here. Seahawks will be trying to get a pride win. They are competitors out here trying to live their lives to the fullest. All right, next up we got Chargers Raiders. I'm going with the Chargers here. I think there is some possible seeding implications with this game. Chargers are already locked in for the playoffs. Just waiting on their division Broncos. The funny thing is, if the Broncos make it, that will be 2 divisions with 3 teams going into the playoffs. So you'll have god damn it, the NFC North, and then you will have the AFC. What are they? I think it's the South. Couldn't tell you. I think it's the South. You'd have that, or else if the Bengals get in, it will be 3 teams from the AFC North and 3 teams from the NFC North. I don't know how many times this has happened, but actually pretty fucking sick. For a little stat head like myself, Chargers beat Raiders here. I do like Aiden O'Connell. He is not the future, though. Next up, we do have Dolphins versus the Jets. I'm going to go with the Dolphins just because they have something to play for. They could play upsetty spaghetti for the Bengals, but they themselves also have been upsetty spaghettied by this game. I do like how they slotted these 2 games again, like the Atlanta and Tampa Bay game. In the same time slot. Keep people flicking back and forth. Then nobody is certain that they're not in, if you know what I mean. That way they're like, oh, it's all up in the air still. Everybody's still excited. You get maximum viewership on both games. It's really smart from the NFL. They're smart cookies. And then next up, I've got the Vikings. I've already talked about this. I just believe that they're a more complete team right now. And those are the picks. You can review them as you wish. We've got Falcons, we've got Commanders, we've got Packers, Jags, Bills, Giants, Buccaneers, Texans, Cardinals, Broncos, Rams, Chargers, Dolphins, and the Vikings. Pretty sick shit. Next up, on the agenda, I do believe we just have to do our parlay. And that will be the show. So, let's get that up really quick. I say that and then I go around clicking very slowly. So here is our week 18 parlay. No milli bet this week. There is, who knows what is going to happen. I don't think it's kind of worth just throwing away that $10. But you know I'm going to make one for myself. So you may as well be magical and make one for yourself. You just need to make 100,000 odd player, prop, whatever, parlay, game, over, under, doesn't matter how many legs, chuck $10 on there, become a millionaire. At least 85 yards on Mike Evans is a surefire. That's the only thing I know for sure. All right, going through this week 18 parlay, I do have the Panthers covering the 7.5. I think Atlanta wins, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. So Panthers 7.5. If they lose by 7, that's fine. If they lose by 8, that's bad. If they win the game, that's fine. All right, then we have the Cowboys. I do believe they cover 6.5. Might even win. I know I picked the Commanders. They might do it. They might do it. I think they cover the 6.5. Jags, I think, if not win the game, which I think they probably will win the game, they at least are 3.5 point dogs. That means if they lose by 4, the bet is bad. If they lose by 3 and lower or win, we win. This is a parlay, so all of these do need to come out. Then we do have the Seahawks going into LA. I've got the LA Rams plus 7.5 point dogs, obviously. I think they've got this one in the bag. It is in LA. I know it's a divisional. It's probably going to be... the game's probably not even going to be decided by more than 7 points. So this is a very good bet, I believe. Same with the Cowboys and the Panthers games, to be honest. I feel like they're fairly safe. I probably just shot myself in the leg there. That's okay. The final leg in this parlay, I've got Minnesota and Detroit going over a total match points of 56. So we need a total over of 57 points. That's between both teams. I think that one is definitely going to happen. A lot of the times divisional games are low scoring, but sometimes you get some matchups where it's just going to be a goddamn barn burner. I'm talking Bengals Browns. I'm talking almost any of this season's NFC North matchups, aside from the ones that have included the Chicago Browns, because they've had a stout defense in the divisional. They haven't been able to put much points up though. So I think these are fairly good. I like them. Parlay them together. Win yourself a little bit of dosh into the new year, since you just spent a bunch of money on Christmas. So it's time to grind again, people. It's time to grind. Those are the bets. And that was the Sean Show. Episode 37 concluded. We'll be doing some more breakdowns, more in-depth talk about the upcoming playoff games. This week is a little bit of a garbage week for the majority of it, but again, there are some good matchups and some things on the line. So get excited. Enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoyed doing it. Again, Happy New Year. And we'll do our sign out, I guess. It's the Sean Show. It's the greatest show now. Just kidding. That's the intro. So appreciate yourself, guys. Appreciate others. Be a good human and have a great time. Peace out.